Welcome into First Stop Sports, your first stop for the best sports debates. I'm your host, Nate Long, and joining me today is Caden Colford and Lateef Mustafaa. Today we're talking all about the front court in the NBA. That's small forward, power forward, and center, our top 5 of all time. And I'm going to go first. I'm going to give you guys the best top 5 in the small forward.
Okay.
Number 5, Dr. J, Julius Erving. Number 4, Scottie Pippen. Number 3, KD, Kevin Durant. Number 2, Larry Bird. And number 1, LeBron James. So I turn to Caden now. Let's hear yours first, and then we'll hear Lateef's, and then we'll get into some debate here.
All right. Top 5 small forwards is as follows. At number 5, Kawhi Leonard. Number 4, T-Mac, Tracy McGrady. Number 3, Kevin Durant. Number 2, Larry Bird. And obviously LeBron James at 1.
That's interesting. Lateef, let's hear yours before we debunk that.
All right. Number 5, Kawhi Leonard. 4, Scottie Pippen. 3, Larry Bird. 2, KD. 1, LeBron.
Okay, so now we have that out of the way. Tracy McGrady. Let's just talk about, because for one, I don't think he's a small forward, so I think your list kind of breaks down in that aspect. What's your case?
Is Paul George a small forward? Is LeBron James a small forward? Both of these guys play a very similar role as T-Mac, right? Both are almost primary ball handlers. Both are looking to score off the dribble, not necessarily off the catch. When I think shooting guard, I'm thinking more so catch on the elbow, one dribble, pull up, shoot. I'm thinking catch it on the wing, shoot the ball. Maybe score within a 5-second isolation set, whatever you want to say. But especially when we look at the modern NBA today, T-Mac is 100% playing the 3 instead of the 2. He's a 6'8" wing, and when we look at his matchup in his later years, he was guarding Bron, he was guarding Melo, and those are 3s. So, I mean, when we look at matchup-wise, we look at play style, we look at frame, screams small forward to me.
Just throw this out here as well. Did Tracy McGrady really have the stats?
Well, I
over
mean,
a long period of time to be considered, a top 5 small forward of all time.
Oh, you're saying he's a what if? Tracy McGrady is a what if?
A little bit of a what if. That's what I'm.
I think if you're a what if and you're a 2-time scoring champ, 7-time All-Star, I don't know if it was necessarily a what if. People know if Tracy McGrady had a full, healthy career, he's a lot higher than 4 on this list. He's probably a top 10 player of all time. He's career 20 points a game, 5 assists, 5 rebounds.
Lateef, anything to say to that?
I mean, I don't really care about the whole what position he plays. I can see him playing small forward. He is 6'8". He has that frame, okay?
Okay.
He doesn't have anything to put him top 5. That's the issue. Like, I'll say in small forwards for NBA history, like the most stacked position. There's a lot of great winners, a lot of great MVPs, all that. No rings, no MVPs. You're going straight off of scoring champs and like points per game and 7 All-Stars. It's a lot. But like there's so many more people who had more than that. Like you can have Carmelo Anthony on this list over him, and it makes more sense.
But Carmelo was never the best scorer in the league. Tracy McGrady was the best scorer in the league for a long time, whether that was Magic days, even Raptors days. We've all seen the 13 and 31 clip. That's prime T-Mac. And I don't think that there are even 4 other guys ahead of him that could outperform Tracy McGrady on any given night.
Well, I have at least 5, so.
Okay.
Yeah. I like all 5 of my guys over Tracy McGrady. Not just.
5.
What?
Give me your 5 one
Give me
more
5. Dr. J.
Okay.
He has the championships. He did play in a little bit of an earlier era, but I'm not gonna discount him that too much on that.
I won't either.
Scottie Pippen. Got the 6
Scottie Pippen?
Scottie Pippen.
What'd Scottie Pippen ever do by himself?
He's a 6-time champ. He's a 10-time, all defense. He's a 7-time All-Star.
He said by himself. That was all with MJ.
10-time All Defense. 10-time All Defense. I mean,
That's great.
He's a 2-way player. One of the best 2-way players of all time.
I do like Scottie Pippen. And I even like those Bulls teams. I think that he was maybe even an underrated part of those Bulls teams. I think he was a huge help to Michael Jordan. But at the end of the day, he was a huge help to Michael Jordan. He was never Scottie Pippen. The other team was never looking at the Bulls saying, man, we really need to watch out for Scottie tonight. You know what I'm saying? Which I understand that there's roles to play, but when we look back to a top 5 of all time at a certain position, we're going to give it to a sidekick? I don't know. Does Robin have his own movie? I've never watched a Robin movie before.
Gosh.
Dang. Okay. Look, hey, but what has Tracy McGrady won?
2 scoring champs, I think, really sums up his career.
Oh, so basically he's the definition of just pointless stats. Of the pointless scoring. Well, hey, guess what? You didn't make it. Look, but hey, you scored a lot of points.
Look, I want you to go. If Bean was here right now, if Kobe Bean Bryant was here right now, you guys have seen the interview. Toughest player ever to guard for Kobe Bryant was Tracy McGrady, and I think that says a lot. I mean, if we were doing a top 5 shooting guards list, I'm sure that Kobe would be on that as one of the best scorers ever.
Yeah, he
and
also has 5 championships.
Yeah, he was, and. I'm not taking down Kobe Bryant here. You talk about the credibility that Kobe brings to the table. He's saying that Tracy McGrady was that one guy that he could never figure out. And Tracy McGrady with his frame was more than just an offensive threat, too. He could lock up your favorite player.
I mean,
one of the best athletes we've ever seen. He was
he's still
a good shooter off the dribble before shooting off the dribble was.
I still think he's a what if to put him in your top 5.
I can see what Caden's going off of. He's going off of just like
Aura
and like raw talent though. Like
guys, just turn on TikTok. All you gotta do is go on TikTok, look up the film. Tracy McGrady was that guy.
Okay, we'll move on from Tracy McGrady and go kind of into this top 3 that we all 3 have. Mm-hmm. It's LeBron, KD, and Bird in some type of order. Obviously, we all have I think LeBron first. I think that's pretty obvious. Yeah. I don't know if we need to talk much about that, but it's the KD versus Bird debate. Me and Caden both have Bird 2, KD 3. Lateef, you have a little bit different. Let you take a chance to give your answer.
All I'm going to say is that if KD went back into the 80s and faced the Larry Bird Celtics, they would have thought he was a witch.
A witch?
Yeah.
But again, like that's going back to like.
Yeah, but blah, blah, blah. They would have.
Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's 2 different eras of basketball. Completely different eras. And so, yeah, I mean, if you put Curry in that era too, I mean, you put any player in that era.
That's not true.
You don't think so?
Any player in that era?
Okay.
Do you think Grayson Allen's going to give them buckets?
No, not literally every player.
Oh.
Every, Caden, you understand what I'm saying? Every top player in that era, right?
I look at this as one of the closest arguments that you can have in the basketball world. Larry Bird and Kevin Durant. One thing I will say, handshakes were allowed in the 80s. Kevin Durant is not seeing the space that he does in the league right now. Mm-hmm. That being said, he's 6'9", as an athlete, with one of the best jump shots, probably the most underrated jump shot the league has ever seen. I think Kevin Durant's a great shooter and doesn't get enough praise for it at that point. However, Larry Bird just affected the game in too many different ways. Larry could give you 40, rebounds 12 times with 8, 9 assists, and he talked to you that entire time while he's doing it. Kevin Durant I look at a different player because he plays a different role in that way that he's going to score the ball and everybody else needs to pick up everywhere else.
Before we go any further, some of the stats between the 2 players. Kevin Durant, leads the way, 27 points a game. Larry Bird's to 24. Rebounds goes to Bird though, 10-7. And then go to assists. Bird also wins that, 6.3 to 4 assists for Kevin Durant. Championships goes to Bird. Bird has 3. KD has the 2 with the Warriors, which I would argue. I know he won the MVP, but I don't know if he was the reason why they won those games. But that's a debate for another day. Obviously, Bird has 3 MVPs. KD is to 1. Kevin Durant, though, does have 4 scoring championships. He has 14 All-Stars. So does any of these stats for either of you put them over the top of the other?
I look at 3 rings for Larry Bird as the best player on that team. Celtics were a dynasty for a long time. Larry was the face of the league for a long time, right there alongside Magic Johnson. And his runs to the finals weren't easy. You got to think, through the East, Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird in a playoff series. Michael Jeffrey Jordan a lot of people's GOAT never beat Larry Bird in a playoff series. And this is a Larry Bird team who also went through the bad boy Pistons when they were at their best. And when you got to the finals, you played Magic. And you won 3 times. I think the league might not have been better, but I think the league was more competitive at that point when you got to the playoffs and eventually the finals. Which I think makes those 3 rings for Larry Bird a little bit heavier than Kevin Durant's 2 that he might have just walked into at Golden State.
Lateef?
Well, Kevin Durant is the reason why I even watch NBA basketball now. So whatever Caden just said, in one ear, out the other. I don't care. KD's top 2 all time.
Top 2 all time.
For small forwards.
For small forwards.
Let me slow down.
Before we go, he's the best, ever, I mean, I understand that from the concept of, obviously none of us ever saw Larry Bird play. He's before, any of us were born. But I think just the all around does give me the edge for Bird.
Man,
that he can do everything.
I wish you could hear my family talk about Larry Bird. I mean, this is a family from rural Indiana, southern Indiana, and they talk about Larry Bird the way that you don't even recognize. Larry Bird on the TV, man, I remember that day in 1983 where he scored 60 with his left hand and, telling all these stories like they grew up and knew Larry Bird from day one.
All right.
That's a cool icon.
So we'll put a little pin into the small forward talk. Some good debates on either side. Obviously, I think I was right, obviously. But we'll move on
We'll
now,
see.
and we'll talk about the power forward position. And we look at the power forward position, we're going to actually let Lateef start out and tell us who's your top 5, go from 5 to 1, and we'll go around telling our top 5s.
All right, so at number 5, Chuck, the donut man himself, Mr. Krispy Kreme, Charles Barkley. 4, Dirk Nowitzki, you got to have him in there. 3, Kevin Garnett. 2, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And of course, number 1, Tim Duncan.
Okay, I'll go next with my top 5. Number 5, the mailman, Karl Malone. Lateef, calm down. Number 4, Dirk. Number 3, KG. Number 2, Tim Duncan. And number 1, Giannis.
Whoa! What? All right, okay. So I'll pick up right where you left off. The 5th best power forward of all time is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Number 4, Karl Malone. Number 3, Kevin Garnett. Number 2, Dirk Nowitzki. And number 1 is, I think, without question, Tim Duncan.
All right, you can think that all you want.
I do.
Giannis has the potential to get there someday, just not. Does he actually?
Where did you have Giannis at?
2.
At 2.
2.
I think 2 is too high for Giannis.
Really?
I'm a big Giannis guy. I thought I was stretching, putting him at 5.
I mean, 2 is. I think 2 is like he has a ring. He has 2 MVPs. He has a depoy or 2 depoys.
He has 1 depoy.
1 depoy.
And I think some of it, it's not even, it's kind of like the thing with, I kind of compare it to, now, hear me out here real quick. We're talking about, Michael Jordan. It's one of those things that you watch Giannis play, and it's just a different, it's a different click in your brain. That's
Yeah.
that's the biggest reason why, it's the eye test, is why I have him number 1.
The eye test, though, over what? 5 rings?
His teams were great. I mean, Tim Duncan, he had a great team chemistry, won 5 rings with it. Okay, hear it out. Give me the debate. Were his teams not good?
His teams are great, but he's not we're not going to throw this, he's a system player type of ordeal on Tim Duncan.
Because there is never a Spurs dynasty without Tim Duncan.
Exactly, it starts there.
But I mean, the team around him is great. If
True,
they don't have that team, are we talking about Tim Duncan the same exact way?
No, but he'll still be top 5 somewhere, top 3 at least.
I don't disagree. He's number 2 for me all time.
Number 2, but
I mean, this is a 1-2 thing with me and you. You have him at 5, which is just crazy, I think.
Well, I mean, And I understand where you guys are going. I think Giannis is great. I think if you watch the film, Giannis is no doubt a top 3 player in the league right now as we speak. But I look at Giannis as, about halfway through his career, and he just hasn't done it yet. He has top 5 accolades. He is not the number 1 as of yet. If he continues on this pace, we can have that conversation here in 5-6 years, but not yet. Not yet. I definitely like seeing his name up there. But we're talking about a guy who was second all-time in scoring for the majority of the NBA's whole lifetime. KG, Dirk, and Tim Duncan. If we're putting Giannis over Tim Duncan, we can't just act like Lateef's point of 5 rings isn't there. And 3 of those were finals MVPs. And we're looking at who might be top 2 defender of all time in Tim Duncan. In a league where the big was necessary and
Giannis
needed.
is a better defender than Tim Duncan.
I'm not gonna lie. Giannis can guard like 1 through 5 better than Tim Duncan ever could. But that's just because like Giannis is more.
That's my biggest case. Obviously it's differently, but when I look at it, obviously stats, go for Tim Duncan. And my base whole take is just off the eye test.
Okay.
And looking at all these, most of these, I've pretty much watched, at least clips of every single player that's on these lists, all 3 of our lists. When I watch, Giannis play, he's the only player that I think they really changed. Like a defense would change their game plan completely. So hey, we're gonna build a wall, so Giannis can't get to the hoop.
To be fair though, he had like dang near no help in those years. Like I won't say dang near no help, but like he didn't have like.
Well, exactly.
And we're still talking Giannis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which years are we talking about?
That was the year, 2019, they built the wall. The Raptors.
It was 2017 to 2020. Those kind of years.
It was like, okay, the game plan was like, okay, all we got to do is stop Giannis because he's the only guy on the team for real.
So all they did was give the ball to anybody else. And, because they almost went to the championship. And
the thing was, you're stopping. Yeah.
Was it 19 against the Heat?
19 was against the Raptors. The
Raptors
beat them.
Yeah, but again, it was just building the wall, getting it out of Giannis' hands. No one of these players, you could double Tim Duncan, but there's other players who would do something about it. I think Giannis, when you look at him, he didn't have as much help as all these other guys did for the championships, I think. I think that, when you look at the eye test, he's one of the best players we've ever seen, most physically gifted players I've ever watched play the game. And that's why I put him up at number 1.
When we talk about not having help, and we talk about just one player's impact on the floor, I think Dirk has the biggest ring in the history of basketball. Dirk swept Kobe in the West on the way to go play the best big 3 the league had ever seen at that point in a prime LeBron James. This is Black Mask, that look against the Celtics. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade while he was still good, Chris Bosh, coached by Eric Spoelstra, owned by Pat Riley. Like, the Heat had no business losing that series. And Dirk, you want to talk about a team who was identified by one player? Dirk Nowitzki completely changed the National Basketball Association because of that league, or because of that ring and that run. So to have him below Giannis is crazy to me, because Dirk took it all the way to the finals, played a better team, played better players,
defensively,
and got it done.
That's my
defense.
issue. It was like defense.
Is defense part of the NBA?
I'll say it's
100%.
What defense does Dirk play?
Okay, he's not that bad.
Okay,
It's like he's a cone. Right?
When we're talking about the top 5 of all time, we can. You look at the defensive, of the rest of the 5 players. Compared, is he not the worst defender out of any of our top 5s?
Look, when we talk...
Yes or no? Is he...
Ask the question again.
Is he the worst defender out of any of our top 5s?
He's the worst defender, but he's probably the most offensively skilled.
He's the worst defender, but there's a reason Stephen Curry is vying for the number 1 spot in the point guard race. We would never make that same comparison when it came to Stephen Curry.
That is true.
Dirk Nowitzki was the best offensive power forward, or with the highest skill set that we had seen to that point. He had some help, but he didn't have a dynasty around, and that's why it was such a big deal for Dirk to go win it against the big 3.
And also, me and Lateef had this debate a little bit. It was a couple weeks ago, talking about LeBron. JJ Barrera, outplayed LeBron in that
JJ
finals.
did. Jason Terry did.
So part of that,
I did too.
Lateef did too, I guess. But when you look at it, I think part of that championship, It's a lot of luck into it.
You think so?
What?
Dirk got sick. Dirk was sick. I would not call that luck.
That was no luck.
You prime LeBron, failing in
LeBron pooped the bed.
Yeah,
did.
The Heat pooped the bed. It's that simple.
It's
They
fair.
pooped the bed. It stink.
I'm agreeing.
Oh.
I'm saying it's lucky on Dirk's case that he played against a team that he were running through everybody on their way, basically.
And then they saw Dirk.
And they pooped the bed.
You can't call it luck.
I won't say luck on Dirk's.
When
I won't say luck on Dirk's
You
side.
go out and win. You can look at the finals this past year and say that Oklahoma City got lucky because Tyrese Halliburton got injured. You can't get lucky when you play a whole 6-7 game series against two teams that had everybody at their disposal. One team just happened to come out on top. That was the Dallas Mavericks. With, Jason Terry and JJ Barea as the second and third best players on the floor for Dallas.
I mean, and when I say luck, I mean, if that game happens again, it happens like a week later. Mm-hmm. Same thing happened. I mean, I would say the Heat are favored to win. I think the Heat are the better team. I think the Heat should have won. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, it took a complete breakdown of LeBron James in the finals for you to win a final in your 15, whatever, how long you played, like 16 years in the NBA. You took a whole debacle of a failure to win a ring.
Just
what
think.
do we put there?
Karl Malone, third all-time in points, was second up until last year, nearing 37,000 points. That alone was supposed to be untouched, let alone Kareem. And obviously he had a long career, was great with John Stockton, a double-double machine. But even at that point, it only means so much. And I feel like once you have a ring, the ring's argument is somewhat disposed of, right? You just need to get over that hump once.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did it in the manner that he did against the teams and players that he did definitely asserts Dirk over KG, over Malone, and definitely over Giannis. Giannis's one ring came against Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
That was a great ring, though.
It was a great
That was a great. He closed that series out. I remember the stats
50
sheet.
piece. Game 6.
I remember that was a huge
Once-
game. That was actually one of the best games I've ever watched a single person
He had
play.
one of the best games in a final game, I think, of all time. Obviously, I'm not going to make my list now what that game, if it is number one, but to drop 50 when everything is on the line, finals on the line, that was pretty impressive. Before we move on, talk a little bit about, and this is kind of a personal Karl Malone question. Does the off the court issues hurt his case?
Absolutely.
So when you look at, because of course, I mean, he is a third all-time scorer. I mean, he had 11 straight 25 points per game season. I mean, he should be higher, I think. But I think we all put him lower because of the off-the-court issues.
It's funny because you watch the NBA for so long as LeBron was creeping up towards Karl Malone and Kareem. They would always say, oh yeah, Wilt's right there, Kobe's there, Jordan. Oh, and then you look up and Kareem's at one. They never talk about him. You never talk about Karl Malone. I mean, he's essentially blacklisted in the NBA for good reason.
Yeah.
Let's not act like it's not, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not saying it wasn't right that he's...
it's crazy because he was so good that you can't just erase him
Yeah.
from history at that point. But obviously you're going to take that hit.
You're going to take the hit and a little bit of the personal. And I know you guys hate the Giannis pick. That's okay. We're going to move on.
I don't like it in
to-
two either. So that's okay.
My bad.
We're going to move on, though, and we're going to talk about the greatest centers of all time. And I'm going to let Caden go first on this one.
Gladly. At number 5, Bill Russell.
Okay.
Number 4, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
Number 3, this is where things might get a little sketchy to some people. Shaquille O'Neal at number 3. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at 2. And Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt is still at my number 1.
Let's see if you can go next. I'll let you go.
5, Bill Russell. We agree on that. 4, Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
3, Hakeem Olajuwon. 2, Shaq. 1, Kareem.
Okay.
I'm about to just blow your guys' minds.
Let's hear it.
What do you have?
Number 5, we're going Jokic.
Okay.
Number 4, Bill Russell. Number 3, Hakeem. Number 2, Kareem. And number 1, It's Shaq.
Big Shaq Diesel.
Diesel, number 1 overall. I guess the first question I want to go to is the infamous 100 points in a game. Wilt is your best center, of all time.
Yes, indeed. And even if he didn't have 100 points in that single game, he would still be at this number 1 spot. I do want that to be known. And I myself have questions as to why that game was never filmed and why we never see that actual footage. However, let's just say it holds up. Let's just say that it happened. Never been touched, never even been close by anybody at the professional level, for one. Number 2, Wilt Chamberlain's the best physical specimen we've ever seen on the basketball court. That includes LeBron James. That includes anybody that you would want to throw in that conversation. And everyone says, oh, he played against plumbers. He played back in the 60s. He played in black and white. Okay, let's use that same time machine argument. Let's go ahead and throw him in 2000. He was born in 2004, okay? He grows up in the AAU circuit. This guy plays travel. He's playing against Bronny's Blue Chips. He grows up with all the rehab equipment, all of the training, the coaches that you could ever ask for. And then he plays Division I college basketball. He goes up to the league. You guys love Giannis. Right? Let's look at Wilt Chamberlain. And this is a Giannis that is bigger, faster, stronger, and more efficient.
No,
not at all.
Just no.
No.
I mean, when you look at Wilt all time, I mean, obviously he has some crazy stats. He didn't really win a lot. Didn't win much when it comes to like championships.
2 rings isn't enough?
No.
Not enough.
Compared to these other people?
Okay.
Played in the same era as Bill, and he had 11.
Well, exactly. Look back at the league at that point. There were 10 teams in the league.
That is true, yeah.
10 teams in the league. Bill Russell's Celtics was the all-star team. John Havlicek, Bob Cousy were just 2 of the guys next to Bill Russell at that point. So Bill Russell was playing with a team of all-stars. And not that Wilt didn't play with some great players. He ended up playing with Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. But he also played against the best at that time. He was putting up 50 points a game on Bill Russell too. Right. He was putting up 50 points a game on Kareem too. So it's hard to say that I just can't go with the plumber analogy because he was doing it against your top 2s and top 3s.
I'm just throwing this out here. How can you be ahead of somebody who you weren't even the best in that era? I know you played for an all-star team.
Who are you talking about?
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell?
How can Wilt ever be ahead of Bill Russell?
Well, I mean, statistically, we go back. You guys have seen that MVP bracket, or not MVP bracket, but MVP graphic,
yes,
where it has Wilt at number 3, averaging 50 points a game, 30 rebounds a game too.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Wilt didn't have the same media attention. Wilt didn't have that same liking that Bill Russell did. People didn't like Wilt. Nobody roots for Goliath. That's Wilt's own words. Wilt was Goliath, right? Wilt was the 2012 LeBron of that era at that point. And Bill Russell was the good guy. He was Captain America to the NBA. Everybody wanted Bill Russell to win. So at that point, even though Bill Russell's putting up 20 and 14 to Wilt's 36 and 27, if Bill Russell gets the win, he's better. I don't think so.
Lateef?
I can respect that, but number one.
Number one.
Who
was your number 1?
Kareem.
I'm glad you said that because let's go back to 1972. Let's go back to 1972. Kareem at this point, 24 years old. Wilt Chamberlain at this point, 35, 36. They meet in the Western Conference Finals at that point, right? Wilt Chamberlain's Lakers beat MVP Kareem and the Bucks. And just a fun fact for you, Wilt held Kareem under 43% shooting. That's very low efficiency for a center, especially for Kareem, who's hailed as one of the most efficient centers ever. Held him to about 43% in that series. In 6 games, Wilt Chamberlain blocked Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 17 times. 17 times in that series.
You know what's crazy?
This was an old Wilt Chamberlain against an MVP young Kareem.
Shaq's putting 50 on him.
He never did. I mean, Shaq wasn't putting up the numbers that Wilt Chamberlain put up.
They weren't in the same era, for one. I mean, for Shaq, have you ever heard of Hackett? You just hack him?
Yeah.
Put him to the free throw line? Did they do that to Wilt? They do it to anybody else, really?
Well, that was the only facet of Wilt's game that wasn't the best in the league was his free throw shooting.
But they still didn't even do that to him.
Well,
Shaq is the most dominant center of all time.
No doubt.
I just told you about the most dominant center of all time.
No, it is Shaquille O'Neal is the most dominant center of all time.
Let's look at the numbers.
Look at I don't need the numbers.
Nobody has ever scored 50 points a game. He did it in 1962. Wilt, for his career, averaged 30 and 23. For his career. And this is after those last years in LA where he wasn't, an all human, right? He was okay. He was all right. He was an average center towards the end of his career. And even with some waning years, still 30 and 23 a game. And Wilt Chamberlain would be number 1 in blocks, but they didn't count blocks during his career. That just wasn't a statistic. Not that they kept, right? So let's say that they did keep blocks. Wilt might have averaged a quadruple-double, or not a quadruple-double, but a triple-double, with multiple quadruple-doubles on record, given blocks and steals were kept in that book, which they weren't. Wilt is still very high up on the list after they started keeping blocks around like the late 60s, early 70s at that point. So Shaq has block numbers inflated against Wilt, and Shaq also had better teammates, I would say.
He may have better teammates. He changed the game, though, did he not?
Wilt Chamberlain did change the game.
No, I'm talking about Shaq.
Oh, let's talk about Wilt. Wilt is the entire...
All you want to say, Wilt,
let's talk about it. Wilt is the entire reason that offensive and defensive 3 seconds are a thing. The NBA needed rule changes so that Wilt Chamberlain didn't make everybody else look bad every night.
What happened in 2001?
You tell me.
They let teams go back to the zone defense.
Okay.
You know who was tearing up the league?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal.
For sure.
They had to change the rules because he was too dominant. Same way as well. They both changed the rules. Mm-hmm. I just think one is physically more dominant.
I don't.
If Wilt so they do that thing where like the magical time and space, 2 players play against each other.
Yeah.
Wilt and Shaq. I'm taking Shaq. Taking my house. I don't have a house, but all my possessions, I'm putting it all on Shaquille O'Neal to beat Wilt Chamberlain.
And why is that?
Because he is a better center and, more importantly, the most dominant center of all time.
What makes him a better center than Wilt Chamberlain?
He will physically throw Wilt Chamberlain away.
I see. Nope. Because Wilt was actually a bodybuilder, right? Wilt was a bodybuilder with a bench press of 450 plus. This is written down stuff. That's at 7'1".
Just like that 100-point game.
Right?
Wilt was a bodybuilder. That's true.
Wilt was so good that they look at him like a fairy tale, that they look at him like a dragon and think that he did not exist. Let's say that if everything was true, is Wilt the best center ever?
No.
So you just can't win.
Empty stats.
So you just can't win.
Empty stats.
Well, I won't say empty stats. Empty stats are when you're just dropping points and like your efficiency is trash.
4 MVPs.
It's not empty. It's just
7 scoring titles.
Yeah,
2 rings.
My issue is just that he did play against plumbers. He did play against people who would come in your house and fix your toilet.
He did your number 1 pretty foul, Lateef. I'm not gonna hold back on that. He did Kareem pretty foul. Care. And I think he was always the best player in the league. Whether people wanted to say it or not, I mean, just go look at the numbers. And when the media did say, all Wilt can do is score the ball, all he can do is rebound and put it back up, get his own rebounds. He was the original rebounder. Well, after that, he led the league in assists. How many centers have ever led the league in assists? I'll give you the answer. It's 2.
How many teams were there again?
10.
How good were those players on those teams?
He did it against the best.
Well, I don't know if he's leading the league in assists with his teammates, his plumbers, then.
Well, I mean, everyone's guarding Wilt, so he's just passing to wide open.
Yeah,
teammates.
but like they're plumbers.
So say that slower. Let's say that slower. Everybody is guarding Wilt.
Not literally everyone's guarding Wilt. Everyone's focused on Wilt.
But
everyone's focused on Shaq. Everyone's focused on Magic. Everyone's focused on Jordan. That's nothing you can say when you look at some of the best players of all time. Everyone is the most focused on their team.
I just prefer Kareem because I feel like he's like the most skillful guy. I like skillful centers a lot. As you can clearly see, I have Nikola Jokic on my list. I have Hakeem at 3. I mean, you got to throw Shaq at 2 because, like, it's Shaq. But Kareem, to me, is just like he can get the sky, he can get the mid-range jumper. He has more of a bag, if you will. You know, Shaq is going to, like, get your center and just, like, jump on him with his big, heavy body. Mm-hmm. Wilt, same way. Similar to Giannis in the sense he's going to run up and just, like, yam on you. Kareem can kind of do that, but, like, I just like skill-based players more. That's just me. Plus, he has, like, all the accolades, so.
All right. Last one we're going to talk about, the guy that I believe me and Lateef have, I don't think Caden does, Jokic.
Okay. Why
is Jokic not in your top 5? And do you think there's a potential where he gets to number 1 all time? Does he beat your Wilt?
He would have to do a lot to get over Wilt in my book, but he's not in the top 5 yet. I think that almost goes without being said, and I don't mind you guys having him at your spots currently right now. Nate, where'd you have him?
5.
And you had him at 4, Lateef?
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty solid. I think that skill-wise, he's one of the most skilled players we've ever seen. We talked about Giannis being top 3. I'd say Jokic is 1 or 2. Shea, Jokic, Giannis is the top 3 in the league right now. I feel like you can have that debate, but you're not going to succeed if you say anything else at this point. But Jokic, his ability to score, pass, I mean, he's not the best defender, but doesn't need to be. I think that you can build any team around Nikola Jokic and they'll win. And he'll get there, but not yet.
I can respect that. I mean, like, Jokic, he's like the only current player on all of our lists. And his career is, I won't say it's young, but it's not deep and tenured as much as like these other guys were. So I can respect that.
Going back to the Wilt talk, Jokic, 7.2 assists per game. I mean, what's more impressive, leading league in assists in 1970 or doing it now?
As a big?
As a big, it is now.
No, it's not.
100.
No, it's not.
100%.
Not even
It is more impressive
the
to average
big job in
7.2.
1970 was to go sit on the block.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's definitely more impressive back in the day because nowadays,
Absolutely.
what player made it? I forgot who it was, but it was like no, not what player. It was a team. The Warriors made like positionless basketball like acceptable. So you have like players. It don't matter like what size you are, what build you are. The best facet of your game is going to be the one that they're going to use on the floor. So I think it's just like with all the history of the NBA and like how players just evolve, it's not as impressive as it would have been.
How many other centers are doing this in this positionless basketball?
A few that's getting pretty close. Or a few bigs getting pretty close.
Bam controls the ball a lot more.
Giannis controls the ball
centers.
a lot. He's not a center, but he's power forward, but he's still a big. You have people like Joel Embiid. He's not really like a passer, but he has a bag. He gets to his spots. It's a lot of big guys doing that type of stuff. Nobody's like on the block getting boards all day no more.
I mean, he's averaging 20, 10, almost 8.
We're talking about Jokic?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like if he continues it, he could potentially take that spot.
The thing about Jokic is that like you can easily say like he's inspired by all these guys like Hakeem. He's inspired by Hakeem. He's inspired by the Kareem. He's inspired by the Dirks.
But he's the first one to look like this.
What, to be Serbian? Oh.
That's wild. Talking about his play style as a center position. But we're going to wrap it up there. Shaquille O'Neal is the best center of all time. Thank you for tuning in to First Stop Sports. Big thanks to Caden and Lateef for joining the show. You can catch us on YouTube at UniTV at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays and on Spotify at First Stop Sports.